it goes, as long as you're moving the football and effective, I don't think you need to go hunt up those opportunities. But certainly when they present themselves, guys are covered. It's the right coverage to do it against. Certainly you want to instinctively be ready to take off and go make a play. So it's an area of my game that I'd love to tap into a little more. But I've been saying that for a few years now, and I think ultimately you just got to play the way you know how to play.
Oh, the self-reflection.
Scrambling.
Yeah,
I don't know. Wants to run more.
I don't know that
wants
I
to run a
need
lot
him
more.
to run more, but
he thinks he's good at it. He said he sells himself short, and KOC agrees with him.
If he wants to mix in like a John Elway, helicopter run in a clutch moment or something from the late '90s Super Bowls, I'd be good with that. But that's Kirk Cousins, and a little teaser for Purple Daily today on our State of the Offense episode. I will have a couple really interesting Kirk Cousins nuggets for you all. Couple really interesting things we can sink our teeth into. But This is Reckless Speculation Thursday here, Mackey and Judd.
Reckless Speculation.
And, we like to look ahead and forward and be speculative as much as possible on these Thursdays. It's a safe space to sort of look ahead on the horizon. And funny thing, we were looking ahead on the horizon back in June and July when the Twins were sliding, saying, ugh. So if you don't think you're going to make a playoff run, or you don't think you can trade for a healthy, effective starting pitcher, you might want to leverage this amazing asset, Carlos Correa, via trade for prospects. Oh, you guys are just clickbait. You guys are the buzz factory, just making stuff up for clicks. Clickety click, click, clicks. This is a safe space for. By the way, we were right in speculating that because now Carlos Correa is opting out, and so Twins are going to get nothing for him. Declan just opted out of this YouTube video.
It's cat.
Yep. So we're going to look ahead because it's a safe space to do so here on Thursdays on Mackey and Judd. And I got to thinking for you guys, the Vikings appear to have solidified a franchise right tackle, locking Brian O'Neill up to a contract last year.
Yes.
A franchise left tackle. More stats on that on Purple Daily today.
Ooh.
They've got a franchise wide receiver. Like, they're checking these boxes of young, elite talent at key positions.
Mm-hmm.
What's next on the priority list for finding elite young talent at key positions?
I want a mock.
And funny,
I want to mock.
Today, we have brand new 2023 NFL mock drafts from Yahoo Sports and from Tankathon.
I want a mock.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man, Tankathon. Gotta love Tankathon.
I want to mock.
So before we get into what I love how the mockers are just like frothing at the mouth in October. Just let's get 2.0, 3.0. Yep. We barely scratched the surface of the conference schedule, and it's already, let's go.
You're starting to see some bad teams, right? So now you're anticipatory about, the quarterback class. Who can get the quarterbacks?
The Raiders are 1-4. So we'll get to these mocks here in a second. And the Vikings, they're based on the current records. So the Vikings are picking like 30th right now because they have one of the best records in the NFL. I don't know if they'll finish there, but what is on your priority list? They've got left tackle. They've got right tackle. I might even argue they've got left and right guard. So like their offensive line, I mean, center is, we'll see what happens with Bradbury.
Yeah, you're not
better.
Yeah, first round pick, you're right.
But what is next on your checklist of elite talent at key position?
Well, so outside of the eventual replacement for Kirk, here's the rub in my opinion.
The rub.
It's on the defensive side. Now, of course, if an unbelievable wide receiver falls to me, I'm never going to turn one down. Jefferson's fantastic. Thielen aging. KJ Osborne, probably an incredibly solid 3. But if I am looking right now, if I'm Kwesi, so let's say so it's not O'Connell, it's not the offensive guy, it's the general manager who is the keeper of the inn for the entire franchise. First round. Cornerback. Mm-hmm. Cornerback is an incredibly important one, and I will say this, it is my contention that while, yes, you can find corners in second and third round, I think if you can get one who is a first-round talent and you're where the Vikings are, which is Dantzler solid, Peterson solid but old and gone soon. I take a cornerback. That is my first one. The other priority defensively, first round, because keep in mind, linebackers, in my opinion, I'm not taking them first round.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can find them. So to me, that's not a priority of the draft.
Yeah.
It's a priority of the depth of draft, third round, fourth round.
There's your positions of need, but then there's positions of importance.
Exactly.
And then there's what kind of talent is available, all intersecting.
And the other one is if I can get an interior defensive lineman, a big, stout young man who's going to not only stop the run, but also, just as importantly, provide pressure. Because you've got two starters there, but you don't really have depth there. So my two positions of priority in the first round of a draft right now would be cornerback and either a 3-tech or nose tackle. Probably a 3-tech.
Oh,
Interesting. So you're saying cornerback, 3-tech are your... I'm going to say...
Yes, sir.
Because Tomlinson and Phillip, I agree on the depth conversation, but Harrison Phillips and Dalvin Tomlinson are both pretty young. I mean, Harrison Phillips is like 26.
I just need more
right?
depth there. Good
No,
depth.
I agree.
That's what I
think.
need.
So cornerback for sure, because Patrick Peterson is he's not what he was, and he's fine, but he's in his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Dantzler's here to stay. Booth might be here to stay, but
Gotta
beyond
stay
that,
healthy,
they don't.
though. He's got to stay
Yeah.
healthy. He's always hurt.
It's a depth thing for sure.
Yes.
I'm looking at edge because Daniil Hunter has not. We got to see with Daniil Hunter here. If he's not the guy anymore, then it's the most glaring thing on your roster. Even if he is the guy, Zadarius Smith is getting a little older. He's been effective this season, but you have one of the worst pressure rates of any team in the NFL so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, although on paper you would say, well, I mean, they got Zadarius and well, they're not getting pressure. So you need someone to get pressure. Maybe that's where your theory comes in. Maybe is there an interior defensive lineman that's better at getting pressure than the two veterans you have in your team right now? So I'm going to put edge in that mix. Linebacker for sure, but not with the first round pick. Middle linebacker, I should say.
edge rushers are a premium, and if you can find a good one-on-one gets to you at your draft spot, I think you have to take it. Zadarius Smith is up there in age. Like, he's had a nice bounce back here, but you can't really rely on him long-term necessarily. And I don't think Daniil Hunter is cooked. I think he's just being schemed incorrectly so far through the first few games. But if you have the more monsters you have in the defensive line, the better, right? Like, when you think the Williams Wall and Jared Allen and Ray Edwards, they had 4 basically Pro Bowlers on that defensive line. Stock the cupboard
That
with as
interior was so
many
good.
defensive linemen, defensive ends as you possibly can. That's what I would prioritize the most. I think I would look in free agency to go after an impact cornerback, because cornerbacks just take a while. Like, I'm not opposed to drafting one, but let's say I wanted to go out and I wanted to really find a answer at cornerback. I'd probably rather pay top dollar for an impact immediately, even though I'm overpaying probably for that position, because rookie cornerbacks, it's tough for them to make an immediate impact.
I mean, if you get one in like the top 10, but that's not where they're going to be.
Right.
They would be drafting more of a project probably. So with that,
I want a mock. I want to mock.
I present to you guys the latest, as of this morning, hot off the presses, Yahoo Sports mock draft.
Oh my gosh.
Glenn Morgan is the author here. I have no idea who that is, but there's also it's like an NBC Sports wing of Yahoo Sports. So I can't tell if this is an NBC Sports draft.
Okay.
So weird. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. This originally appeared on NBC Sports Chicago. It's being featured on YahooSports.com
and the
through
Bears
an NBC partnership.
And the Bears are all over this.
They're frothing at the mouth to draft
They're
players
like,
right
we
now.
suck. What's the mock draft say?
So right now, the Panthers are the worst team in the league. They just fired a coach, and they will be drafting C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State. I'll just go through some of the highlights here.
Yeah.
Namely quarterbacks. I mean, quarterback is on this list long term. You know,
Yes.
the Vikings aren't one of the 20 most desperate teams for a quarterback right now because they have someone solid in Kirk. But at some point, you got to start looking ahead. But right now, I doubt if that's much of a conversation for them. Bryce Young going 4 to the Lions.
Wow.
Will Levis, the Kentucky quarterback, going 5 to the Commanders. So 3 quarterbacks in the top 5. Hendon Hooker, one of the great names in college football, the Tennessee quarterback, going 10th to the Seahawks.
Oh, Scoggins.
As a
Rocky
great
Top.
backup to
Rocky
Geno
Top.
Smith. Let's see here. Any quarterbacks? A lot of cornerbacks going off the board here. A lot of edge rushers. A lot of receivers, which is not shocking. And then we get all the way down. Okay, no more quarterbacks. Number 30, Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
Selecting Christian Gonzalez, cornerback out of Oregon.
I want a mock. I want you.
And here's what the
There you
write-up
go.
says. The Vikings' Patrick Peterson may very well be the Tom Brady of defensive backs, considering his age has no effect on how well he plays the game. Well, that's not entirely true. Regardless, Minnesota needs to prepare for football life without Peterson if he doesn't return next season. Gonzalez is a rangy 6'2" corner with excellent vision and anticipation skills.
Yep.
Rangy.
That's what I want.
Currently, he's leading the Pac-12 with 5 passes defended so far.
Yeah, Pac-12 though.
There's some
What's wrong with
offense in the
Pac-12?
Pac-12.
Yeah, what's wrong with Pac-12?
No, it's not. It doesn't do. It's let's just
So
say
it's SEC or bust
it's a
for
little
you?
bit, yeah, and Big Ten, SEC, Big Ten, the real conferences. The Pac-12's a cute after dark.
Is the Big Ten a
conference.
real
is the big?
conference
Yeah,
this
is
year?
it though? Yeah, I'm with Mackey here.
What's that?
There's talent in the Big Ten, but like
Oh, there's talent,
it's,
right,
It's
right.
a down year for the Big Ten.
Yeah, but you still get talent there. I'm just saying, the Pac-12's fine. It's a cute little
College
conference.
scouts. Judd's
It's a
old
cute
man.
little conference. I watch a lot of college football. Just because you hate college football doesn't mean that I do. I like to sit down
I
with
think
my
the Pac-12 still pumps out quite a
Panera
few
sandwich
NFL
and watch
players.
college football.
All right, we're gonna move on now to the next mock draft
I love this.
I
from
want a
Tankathon. All right, this one from Tankathon.com. Right now, they again same draft order.
Yep.
C.J. Stroud going number 1. Will Anderson, edge rusher, going number 2 to the Raiders. They also have Bryce Young to the Lions. Will Levis 7 to the Falcons. That's the only 3 quarterbacks in the top 10. And then Anthony Richardson. I don't think he's a first-round pick, but Anthony Richardson to the Giants at 27. And then we get to 30, where the Minnesota Vikings select out of South Carolina. There you go, Judd. The SEC
Real
is
football.
already a better pick in Judd's
Real
mind.
football conference. Damn near a pro league. It is a pro league.
Cornerback Cam Smith.
I want a mock.
Yeah, give me the SEC kid at corner.
For what it's worth, they also have a second and a third round. Second round, Vikings taking Notre Dame interior offensive lineman Jarrett Patterson. And then in the third round, taking Iowa tight end, the NFL tight end factory, Iowa.
Yeah, exactly. Don't sleep on that.
Sam Laporta, a 6'4", 250-pound red zone monster.
I want a mock.
Actually, you know what? That's good prediction. That makes a lot of sense there.
It does. You need some depth there. All due respect to your guy, Johnny Munt.
Johnny Munt, no, I think it's over. I think the Johnny Munt run of fun is over.
Johnny
I never
Munt.
made any
Fun.
promises. The Munt run of fun, but we should get some type of Munt T-shirts made before it's done. I'd love to have
we are
Johnny
thinking
Munt
about. We
t-shirt.
actually had a concept for one because we are going to do another pop-up shop hopefully later this month for Purple Daily
Good.
and Score.
Love
But
those.
I don't know. I feel like the Johnny Munt excitement
I
has
think
kind
you
of
might be right. Yeah,
it might
I
have
think you
peaked
might
in
be
week
right.
1.
I think you might be right.
So there we go. We got some prominent mock draft platforms here that are eyeing cornerback again for the Vikings in the first round.
Makes sense.
That's your update.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if Peterson comes back next year, it's Peterson, Dantzler, Booth. But again, to my point is with Booth, he's got to prove that he can just stay on the field. But I mean, they're what? 4 deep, basically, at corner? Because I don't trust Boyd to play corner. Like, he can be a special teams guy. But, yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. And it is amazing, and it's a credit to Rick, I guess, too, that this team is so deep at skill positions with some great young players offensively, or just good players, period. I mean, Darisaw has been phenomenal.
Yes, we're going to get into some of those numbers too in the State of the Offense episode of Purple Daily today. The reason why the Vikings aren't drafting higher in these mocks is because they keep lighting the Spiral Light victory candle on a weekly basis. Can't put that thing out.
We like to call it Judd's Purple Positivity Candle, and I'm going to tell you right now, good or bad, it either provides an aroma that is just screams football, or you know what, it calms you down when things aren't going right. So there's a beautiful spiral light candle burning in front of you. So if the Vikings are burning things down, which hopefully they're not, it calms your nerves. Spiral light also great gifts, an array of candles that are absolutely fantastic for birthdays, for anything special occasion that you can come up with. SpiralLightCandles.com, SpiralLightCandles.com. Check it out. But again, the Purple Positivity Candle is something that every fan of the purple should have, and you can get one at SpiralLightCandles.com.
Yes. All right, every Thursday, Declan goes back into the Twitter archives. Old tweets exposed here. All right, we will duck for cover. What do you have for us this week?
All right, let's just go back and disclaimer before I play these old tweets exposed. We like to have fun conversations and recklessly speculate in the off season about what any team could do, right? So this disclaimer that I want that out there. That's what we do, but that's a thing that we like to do. But I want to put that out there in the ethos before we play these clips, because we were recklessly speculating on what quarterbacks the Vikings should be having in 2022 when the Vikings first fired Mike Zimmer. So let's go to old Macadac to start off.
Never mind the fact that Russell Wilson is levels better than Kirk Cousins as a player, as a late game clutch quarterback, and as a leader and a guy that can bring people together and get people to rally around him. So ideally, would it be nice to find a young quarterback of the future that you can have on a rookie scale contract for 5 years, like if Malik Willis was that guy? Absolutely. But if there's an option to still pay a lot of money, but maybe have it be a little bit more flexible in terms of what you can do with that cap hit,
Right.
and upgrade to a Hall of Fame caliber guy who's motivated and wants to win more Super Bowls, this would be a no-brainer discussion behind the scenes for me. Like,
Can we wait for the season to play out first, or do I have to get
Good.
clowned
Let's
for
ride.
that take right now?
We can ride.
I'm not going to clown him. No, I think that you're still. I
You
think
do
your
love Russell
heart
Wilson.
was in the right place.
I think Russell
does
Wilson,
love Russell Wilson,
is a
though.
lot better than he is shown in the last
That's
month.
right.
Go Broncos, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
That's one of the great.
That's right.
The fact that he had just gotten his ass kicked in that game, and that he like starts to walk off the podium post game press conference, and then gets that in, is one of the funniest things I've seen.
You know, I know people are mocking him for it. He should take it to the next level. Instead of just saying "let's ride" as he exits the press conference, he should do like the fake, like he's riding a horse, like "let's ride."
He should have one. Yeah, get a small one in there. Those
Was it Schrager that absolutely filleted him?
destroyed him.
Oh my God!
Good Morning Football. Yeah,
Yeah, like-
he destroyed him.
Last Friday,
For what? Just
Called
for
him
being bad?
selfish. He essentially said Russell Wilson's a fraud of a person.
like he said he saw him at the like NFL honors,
Yes,
right?
on the red carpet with his wife, and they're like, "We can't talk right now. No."
They
And
were
he's-
basically like him and Sierra. And look, Sierra's a pretty successful musical star in her own right, but they were like basically big timing anyone that walked up to them, and he was clowning them for it.
Schrager destroyed them.
It was
See, because Schrager's a reporter who has some opinions. So anytime a guy like that goes strong on the opinion side, he's probably getting it from other people in the league too.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
a good clip. All right, I'll go
And
next here.
Geno Smith's lighting it up for Seattle, so it
Geno.
doesn't help
Yeah.
Russ's cause.
All right, I'll go next.
I agree with all the points that Baker is immature.
I agree,
I
too.
think he's a phony leader. I agree with that. I just don't think he is as bad as what he was in 2021 is not who he really is. He was
That's a
playing
fair
hurt.
point. Yep.
He was not as bad as he was. So I can deal with a $19 million cap hit and potentially some immature comments to build out the roster more and just hit a different era of Vikings football. I can get down with that.
Yep, and I'm just
Yeah,
saying if they
okay.
give me 2 first-round picks, and
Now you're
attach
talking.
one to
Yeah, Baker Mayfield just stinks. He's
Well,
not,
okay. People here. I'm going to explain on your behalf here. Okay. People, we had a bunch of conversations about the future of the quarterback position with the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them included if they keep Kirk Cousins, but many of them were, hey, this is a new regime. You know, we would move on, and at the end of the day, maybe it turns out we are or will be wrong about that. But What we were talking about with Baker Mayfield and also with Sam Darnold was about, hey, you guys don't want that quarterback anymore. So how about we'll take that high draft pick off your hands. How about Carolina, you give us the 6th overall pick and your crappy quarterback, and then we'll give you Kirk Cousins in like a 3rd or something, right? It was all about how do you get up into the top 6 or 7 in the draft. So people are like, you wanted Baker Mayfield. You wanted Sam Darnold. No. We wanted the 6th overall pick. But things have worked out pretty well for the Vikings on the path that they chose this season.
All right, one more here from Judd Zolgad.
Contingency plan is this. If you fire Zimmer and bring in Doug Peterson as your coach, a 1-year transitional year of Nick Foles.
Wow.
A 1-year transitional year of Nick Foles. Again, keep in mind here, the goal of this show is to win a Super Bowl, but this team right now is not set to do so. So what I'm trying to do here is build a team eventually. So Nick Foles is not your quarterback to win a second Super Bowl, which he's won one here in 2018. Nick Foles is the transitional piece again that you would get on the cheap to play quarterback for a year while you build out around him.
Judd thinks Nick Foles can win the Vikings a Super Bowl.
Well, I will be very clear here and say this. Number one, I was all on the tear it down train.
You were.
I have accepted that the Vikings didn't, and this is fun. I still don't think this team is anywhere near being a Super Bowl team. So the competitive,
they have a lot of things to clean up defensively.
Exactly,
absolutely.
But my point is, don't be fooled by the record and say, well, you guys, this is a Super Bowl team. It's a playoff team. And they are exposing the fact that the rest of the league is pretty bad as well. Good for them. And Cousins is playing well. But all of that being said, when I look at this defense, I do not see a team that can make a playoff run. Unfortunately.
Well, not right now.
Yeah.
And maybe
so we'll see.
And maybe they won't. But
Right.
they've put themselves in a really good position, padding their record as they look to iron some of this stuff out. We're going to find out a lot on Sunday, November 13th, when they go to Buffalo. That'll be a litmus test football game. Can they hang in or beat Buffalo on the road? Not that game will tell you everything, win or lose, but if they go in and they go toe-to-toe or they beat Buffalo, people are going to talk about the Vikings in a much different way than they are right now.
You are going to have made some very serious bye-week adjustments defensively to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think they would agree with all of that, too.
Let's ride.
I think I probably win this week, don't I? Just levels better.
I said Nick Foles, so
his career has.
You
been
guys can do whatever
better.
you want to me.
This season has been a train wreck. Yeah, but you said Nick Foles as a transitional quarterback.
Yeah, it's true.
I said Russell Wilson's levels better than
win.
Kirk Cousins, which he has been up until this season. But okay, all right, there it is. Reckless Speculation Thursday here, Mackey and Judd, and don't forget this Sunday at Surly Brewing Company. You guys are going to be hosting a watch party for the game against Miami, and then a live edition of Vikings Vent Line with Before I Die cans of beer. And we're giving away, you can register on the Score North app too. We're giving away a VIP table where you're going to get a couple of pizzas. You're going to get a bunch of Before I Die beer, T-shirts. And so you can register to sit at the VIP table.
That's right.
Through
I'm
the
going to sit
Score
with
North
you.
app.
I'm going to come over and spend time with you.
Eat your pizza and not talk to you.
And no, I'm going to drink a couple beers with you.
With my friends at Early Brewing.
Well,
If you want to be in an afternoon, if you want to be in the halftime TikTok video with Judd, you better get that VIP table.
Yeah, we can talk it up. I love that idea.
Yep. All right, that's a wrap on today's Mackey and Judd. We'll see you guys over on Purple Daily.